Damn, I am feeling good. Why? Why am I feeling so good? Did I discover some new secret? Did I discover a magical potion, a great strategy for life? Is that why I'm feeling so great now? Absolutely not. What I discovered was that when I do the things that I know always lead to great results and lead me to feeling great, that guess what? That is how I end up feeling. And that's what this video is all about how we generally do know what we're supposed to do. And I will share some of the things that I know contribute to me feeling great, having a great day, and getting a lot more productive work done. So I'm gonna share those in this video. In this video, I'm gonna share them. But what I really wanna emphasize is the importance of doing those things, especially if you are an ENFP or an INFP. There's a good chance that when things start to go well, and they become a little repetitive, maybe you get a little bored. You're like, hey, this is working. I don't need to do X, Y, Z anymore, right? So I'll give you a good example. One of those things for me is cardio exercise, like 20 to 30 minutes on an exercise bike or a run or whatever it is, but basic cardio to get the heart going. The research is there, it does wonders for your brain. And personally, I found that in addition to eating keto and eating right, that cardio exercise every single day has a profound impact on my health. And I found this out because at one stage I was doing both eating keto and the daily exercise, and then later on I was just doing the keto and I noticed a dip in terms of my results. So I know this is good for me, right? And I know that the days where I make the effort to go out, to go to this certain gym I work out at, and to put this time in, despite the commute, despite the time taken out of my days, I always get more done and I feel great. So you'd think, being a relatively intelligent person, that I would just do that every single day. And of course not, because when things are going really well, we start to think, hey, maybe I don't need that routine or that person or that service or that vitamin or whatever it is that may be helping us be at our best. And yes, as an ENFP, I will admit it's kind of painful to have to do the same thing every day. I mean, there's a little bit of variety. I can do the bike or the, what's it called where you do this thing? Elliptical. I can do the elliptical or do some running. There's a bit of variety there. Sometimes I do the heavy bag, listen to some Eminem, take out all that rage I bury deep, deep down inside. So there is some variety there, but basically I look at that as medicine. Like, this is what I need to do to have a really great 23 hours rest of the day. And that mindset has worked really well for me. But what I do find myself slipping into, and I can't be the only one that this happens to, is I fall into lazy thinking. So if I'm not feeling the most energized, I know what I really need to do is get up, have that cardio exercise, and do some of the other things that are part of a great day for me. But in that moment, it becomes easy to convince yourself otherwise. Like, I'll just take this day off or do something different. There's no way that would change how I feel, because it's hard for us to imagine feeling different than we feel in the moment, which, not to go on a weird tangent here or anything, but I think that's why sometimes depression can be so devastating, because it's really hard to imagine in that moment that you could have felt differently in the past and that you can feel differently in the future. So some elements that I found are likely to add to a productive day and likely to make me feel great. I say likely because nothing is absolutely 100% of the time, but one I mentioned, cardio exercise. With that comes going out. I know that part of why I feel great after going to the gym, there's the exercise part, but there's also being around a lot of people. Okay, maybe it doesn't hurt that they tend to be very attractive people as well. I also feel kind of motivated and good about myself for going there, right? When we have something that we want to do that is good for us, and then we do it, it makes us feel better about ourselves, because we're like watching ourselves from the outside thinking, hey Dan, good work. Like, you said you were gonna do that and you did. And then you feel better about yourself and those feelings carry over. That's the logic behind starting your day making your bed or doing something really simple that you commit to, because you're showing yourself that you do the things you commit to. Another part of a great day for me is having a clear focus. So later today, I'm teaching an ENFP Unleashed training. So part of my focus today was on creating that training, preparing for it, as well as to film some videos and go to the gym. So that's a very clear focus on things that I tend to like doing And for me, I found that is the recipe for a great day, when I know exactly what I need to work on, and they're things that I really get energy from, that I enjoy doing and are somewhat substantial or significant, like make a training, film videos, where I feel like I've done something at the end of the day. Those days where I don't plan that, and despite knowing this, I do not plan every day like this, but the days where I have a lot of odds and ends, or I don't really know, like I'll get up and go to a co-working space, but not really know what I'll be working on, those tend to not be great. And again, we might ask ourselves, Dan, you know exactly how to have a great day. Why do you not do it every single day? And I will say, that's a very, very good question. So we've got exercise, we have being around people, we have a clear focus for the day. I also find going out to work, being in my environment, wherever that is, so going to cafes or co-working spaces, for me, as someone who works for myself and could be working from home every day, the working from home days, maybe I can get away with once a week. Any more than that, they definitely do not go over well. And the last thing I would say is influences as well in terms of information. So how do I start my day? If I start my day and I really dive into some like identity politics podcast, you know, I put on a Joe Rogan podcast and it happens to be some far left or far right or far whatever the heck they are person, and it's just not the best energy, that tends to shape my day in a lot more of a negative way than, say, if I start the day with a great audiobook or just some great music I like, and that tends to set things up in a better way. How exactly that works, I cannot tell you, but I just know when I look back at those days, I look at the statistics of how I start my day and then how I feel and how the day turns out, there's definitely a correlation there. So below in the comments, let me know, what are the things that you know that when you do them, you have better days, you feel better, you get more done, and you just look back at the day satisfied. What are those things? And maybe if you want to share, how often do you work them into your day? Let me know that below in the comments. And if you are new to the channel, my name is Dan, this is Dreams Around the World, and my mission is to help you become the best version of yourself. So do consider hitting the subscribe button and the bell, and I will catch you in the next video soon. Ciao.